Lost in space and time for over 10,000 years, on a mission they were never meant to return from. They have returned from the horrible secrets of space. They are the Comic Shop.
Hello and welcome to the Oswego Comic Shop Does a Podcast with me, Papa Lee.
I'm the intern.
Please help me. We're here today with a very special guest, Aaron, if you'd like to introduce our...
Who's our guest?
Joining us today is our esteemed colleague, Mr. Tyler Rigby.
Hey!
Why don't you tell us a bit about yourself? You went to school for cinema, right?
For VFX, so I'm a VFX artist. I do freelance work all the time,
Awesome.
and then I work at the theater here in town. So movies are all me.
Fantastic. Sweet. Free movies now. That's great.
Yeah.
Lucas, can you do me a favor?
What?
Can you go to the next mixer thing and just scroll down a little bit?
So are you using a lot of like After
Okay, thank you,
Effects
right
and
there.
like all of
Do
it?
not get me started on After Effects. No, I use Nuke primarily. Maya Redshift is my render of choice.
Okay.
I just realized how stupid we are. I should have had your commercial queued up. We could
I
watch
know, we
the
could have showed that.
commercial that you made for
We'll
us.
do it in post. Can we do it in post?
I don't know.
We can do it in
cut
post.
cut
You can't do it in post.
He's the one that did our
They can
our robot
find it
commercial.
on your social.
It's on
page.
YouTube. It's on our
I'm
YouTube.
sure it can be found.
I'm sorry, I
it's
didn't
on-
mean to cut you off. I just realized this like right now. And it's like, that's such a great thing we could have done. But
Oh yeah, you were my first official client, I suppose.
So how's that been
Right
going?
after school. Pretty good. I just got done with a few projects. I was working on a short film for a little bit that ended in January.
Oh, wow.
I just helped film a commercial here in town for the Oswego County Federal Credit Union. So that was pretty
okay.
nifty.
did they require any robots or anything?
No robots, just me holding a boom. But anything to be in a production, really, I'm looking for. So
Aaron and I were talking about another commercial for the comic shop the other day, potentially involving puppets.
Oh yeah.
you
Prop-
told me
puppets.
about that. Yeah.
Puppets.
Are you a Dr. Brule and Tim and Eric fan?
Unfortunately, no.
You just
Tim and
haven't seen it,
Eric's
or you've
awesome.
seen it and it wasn't for you?
No, I've seen it and it wasn't for me. But
Fair
every
enough.
single person I know and have enjoyed their company, they love it, and I just can't get
You know,
You're
my
right.
first introduction to them was the
in
Married
your
News
face.
team, and that was not to my liking. But then someone showed me the Dr. Brule, and I said,
Yeah.
"There's more to this. There's more to this than I thought."
Yeah.
All right. Why don't we get on top? Well, should we talk about the week? Recap.
Lucas, we want to hear about you house hunting.
I don't want to talk about
The
that.
House Hunter.
Aaron, what have you been up to?
Me?
Yeah.
Feeding the baby, burping a baby,
Yes, you have a
changing a baby. Just went to the in-laws over the weekend.
You like your in-laws, though, right?
Yeah, I like them because they like me. It's great.
It's a win-win.
You're just saying that for the podcast. They might be
No,
nice.
they legit like me. I think they like me more than my own parents do.
I was going to go in a dark direction there, but I'm like, nope.
You got to keep your mouth shut.
In fact, they do like me more than my own parents like me. I mean, that's just the facts. So I like hanging out with them, and I got to go and buy some comics from a comic shop that wasn't the comic shop.
Thanks for being a traitor, but also thanks for finding me that Eric Larson Spider-Man.
Guest starring the Punisher.
Oh my God, it was for you.
No, he was buying other books,
Oh, okay.
and then he just sent me a picture of a book that he thought I might like for my personal collection, to which I said yes, buy that.
Well,
for
it's
$8.
I did flip through it and read it before I gave it to you, though. I had to. but
Oh, I'm not paying you for it then.
it's Spider-Man and the Punisher team up in the book. It's by Eric Larson, and there's a confrontation between the Black Cat and Mary Jane, which, like, if you, you always, he's like always hanging around with one or the other, and it's like, what? It doesn't seem like they ever cross paths, except in there's a new book out now, right? That's how we promote
Yes.
some new product,
Yes.
right?
Oh,
Black Cat and Mary Jane crossover book,
Yep.
but Eric Larson did it back in 1990. But I also scooped up some other collections there. I got Terminator comic, the last one Dark Horse did before they lost the deal with the licensing, and The Weird.
I don't know what the deal is with the Predator licensing either. They're supposed to launch a Predator book at Marvel at the same time, but it's
Yeah.
been like a year and some, and I feel like that's in legal limbo. At least that's what Martin was implying, and I
Yeah,
just continue
who
to
cares?
stick with that a year later.
From what I've seen with like different properties like that, it seems like maybe 20th Century Fox owns all of it, but like the licensing gets, and maybe you know more about this than I do, but it seems like like a producer like pops up in, they're like, I own 2%, but so then you can't move forward on anything until you
Get their okay.
consider that 2% that's this entity you don't know what it is or
Right.
whatever until you figure out like how to pay them or do whatever you need to with them before you can put out new product. But yeah, I got the weird with Bernie Wrightson and Jim Starlin thing.
Bernie Wrightson's so good.
Yeah, I picked up it's Bernie Wrightson inked by Dan Green, so it's cool. I have a big Dan Green inking fan. What else did I pick up? Oh, I got there's this a cartoonist kayfabe ringside seats comic swap.
Oh wow.
Thing, and every once in a while they'll throw some cool stuff on there. I got the Sabretooth miniseries from like 93. And the Havoc and Wolverine epic series.
Tyler, were you born in 1993?
No.
Okay. All right, just making sure that we're still the old men in the
Hey, I remember 9/11 though. Everyone I work
Really?
with doesn't remember 9/11. Yes,
That's so
really.
weird.
How old are you?
I was like
26.
You don't know how old you are.
Honestly, no. I stopped keeping track after
You stopped
21.
I know what you mean. I stopped keeping track too, and I'm 36.
It doesn't matter until I turn
Does-
62 and can start collecting Social Security. As far as I'm
True
concerned,
Doesn't
story.
matter.
True
Doesn't
story.
young at
Gotta
heart.
fix your
You,
mic.
you know what? Me?
It's in your face. Look at the camera.
It's
You're
fine.
talking-
It's
He was
fine.
just yelling at me about my mic too.
It's more
so.
for the audio. But you know what I was doing when 9/11 happened?
What?
I was in art
Why
class.
are we talking?
I don't know. I don't know.
This is so depressing. Okay.
You have 20 seconds to talk, and then we're going to
Boom.
move on to it.
So I was in art class, and we were doing a project where we had to ask people. We had to do market research on cereal, and I was walking around asking people what their favorite cereal was.
Wow. Thanks for sharing. Thanks, Aaron.
Lucas, what are we doing today?
Well, if we were gonna age me, I just wanted to make sure.
I thought you were like around my age. I thought you were like a couple years. I mean, what? You're 27, 26, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you said, you don't even know. But I
I'm
thought you
26.
were like
I'm gonna go with 26 at this moment.
I thought you
in
were like
time.
23. I thought you were only a couple years.
That's very considerate of you.
I really did, honest to God. All right, well, let's move on. Let's move on to the main course. We're talking about the Oscars, not the Oscars this Sunday.
We're talking about Oscar from The Office and what a great character he
I
is.
thought we were talking about Oscar the Grouch.
Oh, really?
Oh my God,
Big
wow.
fan.
Hey, he lives in a garbage can.
We have a lot of different.
Don't
things
we
happening.
all?
You gotta live where you gotta live.
I'm hoping I won't next year, but no.
Yeah, we still haven't talked about your house
Okay.
hunting.
All right, we'll talk about it and move on. All right, so I'm house hunting. All right, that's it. I found a place. Hopefully, it's looking good. And then yeah, that's it. That's it. So there's the
Do you
update.
think you'll find a good place to read Saga?
I hope. I hope.
Tyler has been here
Oh my goodness.
four times in the past week buying Saga. He's hooked.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's hooked.
Yeah, I came in one day
He's
and I
got the
bought the
fever.
first volume because I knew it came back and everyone I'd listened to talks about it. And then like the next day I came in and got volume 2 and 3 and plowed through that. And then the next day I came in and got 4 through 9, I think it is. And I have 2 left that I have not read today because I don't want it to be over yet.
Gotcha.
And the weekly or the monthly, however they release it now, I'm not prepared for it yet. I'm
I know, I
really
know.
a trade reader more than anything else.
The new one comes out
Yeah.
tomorrow. 57.
Trades are convenient.
2 days, Wednesday.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, 2 days.
Brian K. Vaughan, great writer, but Fiona Staples is a beast of an artist.
Oh,
It's like,
love her.
That comic book has the best fashion of any comic I've
Oh,
ever
yeah.
seen.
There's a lot
yeah.
of boobs too. That's what I like. A lot of nice ladies. You know what I mean? Bing.
She's a
It's-
very
you're
nice
not
lady.
wrong. They are there, but you know.
That's my favorite part about the book. That's what hooked me. I'm like, okay, this is great.
Tyler, you're a big movie guy.
Yes.
He is.
Let's talk about.
Thanks, Evan.
He works at the theater.
He,
so, yeah.
he works at the theater. He's our inside source too. Like we're gonna rent out the theater for Doctor Strange. And
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
sure. Do you know about the Mama's Geeky thing going on?
I did. I woke up one day and found it in my crew messages and stuff, and I'm definitely going to that. So
Yeah, we're scrambling on this end to.
Are you-
The comic shop is supporting her. She called us like immediately. She'd been in touch with Martin, but then when she finally got the go, I'm like how I'm speaking very cryptically. I'm not sure what I can and cannot talk about, but we're gonna do an event at the theater. It looks like at the end of the month with Mama's Geeky. So
I think it's March 30th.
it is.
It is
30th
Wednesday.
at 6
It's a
p.m.
Wednesday. Yeah.
We're trying
I think
to.
you have to sign up
You
with
have
her to
RSVP,
do it.
yes.
You do.
Something like
You
that.
do. Yep. There is a Google document floating out there. I'm sure if you look at Mama's Geeky social, you can
You
find
can
it.
find it.
Yeah, but
easily.
Warner Brothers is doing a screening of The Secrets of Dumbledore
Yes.
a few weeks before release.
2
which
weeks,
is
I think.
Pretty
or
wild.
something
I feel like it's a
that.
pretty big.
Yeah, I'm sure it's all because of Mama's Geeky, but this year we've had 3 screening events at our theater, which we've never had before. We screened Licorice Pizza, which I missed out on because
I
I had
would've
to
liked to
work
see
for
that.
it. And then Space Jam 2, and then this is
I was
the
there for
third
that.
one.
I remember that. Mom is,
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever saw Mama's Geeky. Actually, she came in.
Yeah.
And Brian, the boss, was like, "There's a press screening." No one knew how many people were going to show up, and it was just her and her 2 kids. She was
Well,
super
that's
cool.
what she wasn't sure about for the Secrets of Dumbledore, is that she was under the impression it might be more people, but maybe it'd be like they would have 30 people or 20 people.
It'll be in one of the
And then
bigger theaters
it's,
for sure.
I think it's in 2.
It's theater
right?
2, and basically it's 213 seats.
yeah,
And
there's plenty of room.
concessions for everybody too on Warner Brothers, which is like,
Right.
oh.
Are you going to be
Oh, wow.
working, or are you going to be?
No,
You're gonna
I
be
don't work
attending?
those days. Yeah, I'll be attending. I'll be showing up. I'll be
Awesome.
there. I'll help her out.
Yeah.
I'll help, but I'm gonna watch the movie.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for that. Got almost. What is it? Next week. Next Wednesday. Yeah. But all right.
That's when Art Club is coming back. I'm finally doing Art Club again after being out. Taking
Right.
care of Lucy.
So you're not going to screening?
It seems unlikely at this time.
That's all right. Because I thought it would be cool if we could talk about it. But.
Tyler, talk to us about movies.
Well, let's get on to the main course here. We're doing our own little Oscars things here. So why don't you tell us your third favorite film of the year? Let's dive right in.
Oh goodness. So
I would start with your favorite, because I'm worried we're not going to have
No,
enough time
why?
to get through
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Let's just jump into the main course.
Let's do the second. We'll leave the first.
'Cause we can
one.
Tyler, you're free to talk about whatever movie you
Yeah,
like
that's
to talk
true.
about.
All right,
Seven,
good,
you
because
just
I
ruined
can't actually
everything.
number these so well. I had a list of 10 that I was forced to whittle down to 3,
Forced.
and I am like switching between the last one with another one as we speak. So I'm gonna put Vacation Friends up there.
Wow.
It's a great film. Stars John Cena and Lil Ray Howery.
I would say
Eva.
this is a controversial pick.
That I got accosted
You got-
as I
you
walked
got
into
yelled
the
at by
shop
Martin.
today by Martin.
Well, yeah, Martin, who never holds his opinions back. He will let you know
Well,
immediately how he feels about everything.
Well, I got him. It's a great film. I laughed the whole time. I laughed the whole way through. John Cena was in 3 of the 10 picks I picked this year. The other 2 being Fast 9 and then Suicide Squad.
Yeah, right.
But I thought this one let him shine the most. His comedic chops have really risen to the taste of me, at least. And it was funny. It was just a grand time.
I want to not like John Cena.
I like
I don't
him.
want him to. I don't want to like him as an actor.
But he's doing great things. Look at him.
He's
I cried during Peacemaker. We all did.
He's pretty great.
He's pretty great.
He's
I don't
pretty
know
great.
about
I mean, I'm not putting him in the highest tier of actor
I mean,
for sure,
I-
but like
You watch like no movies, so you don't have any say in who you.
that's
like
why I
and who
print out
you
all these
don't.
notes. 'cause
I don't
have
know
no
if
idea what we're
anyone
talking about.
remembers the Marine, but he's come a long way and he's put the work in. So I'm willing to give him a
What
shot.
year do you think the Marine was?
2007 or 2006, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna bet one of those 2.
Is that a movie where he plays a marine biologist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like
him
a
and
great
him and
movie.
George Costanza rescue a whale by pulling a golf ball out of the blowhole.
There's a prequel I want to see.
I'd watch that film for sure.
So what was the film called?
It's called
Vacation Friends.
Vacation Friends. You can find it on Hulu.
Is it okay?
yeah.
I remember my professor. You might know him, Joshua Adams. He talked about that in class. So he liked it. He thought it was
a-
great.
It was about most
feel-
of my picks are about finding family and like the connections of however you want to put it. But
Interesting. Yeah. Why is it? You want to dive deeper into that?
I mean, if you want to talk
11
about
years
trauma,
ago.
we already talked about 9/11, so I feel like we
I
got
know,
that
I don't
part
know why,
covered.
but-
But,
9/11 and breakfast cereal. They
breakfast
go together
cereal.
like
and
yikes.
Aaron's relationship with his parents. Yeah, this is a very loaded.
Anyway, a couple go to a vacation, and the people above them are John Cena and the Meredith Hagner, who plays his wife in the film, and they just love living life. And they accidentally ruined the apartment below them, so they spend a vacation together, and then they become vacation friends. And then out of nowhere, these 2 people who they did not want to come to their wedding, and then it disrupts the whole event. And it's hilarious from beginning to end, and then it's also very heartfelt and. There's a baby involved at the end. So,
Baby, Yeah, John Cena. He was in a film. Gosh, I can't remember what it was called. It was about their kids going off to prom or like.
oh,
having
Blockers.
Yes. And I hear that was great. I hear
That's
he
a
was good in
hysterical
that.
film.
Yeah. So he's he's definitely been pulling his weight. You know, he's a great actor. He really is. You know?
And I don't want to cut you off, Lucas, but
No,
you were
you're
going to
gonna
say
cut me
you were
off.
going to say earlier, and he's a hunk.
I was actually going to say
So
that.
I
So
want to make sure that we.
thank you for interrupting me. I was going to say that. Actually. He is a
Let's
major
get that
hunk.
on the record.
He is a major hunk. Yes, please. But no, I think he's a great actor. We talked about this, a few episodes ago when we talked about Peacemaker and how he's, he can do the comedic side of acting and then also the emotional pretty well.
And apparently play piano.
Can he?
Yeah, that was him playing
You know,
piano when he would. During that
I
scene.
believe he actually speaks like Chinese or he speaks some Asian language or something.
It wouldn't surprise me if he speaks Japanese. A lot of the big time wrestler guys speak a little bit of Japanese because wrestling is so big in Japan.
Right, yeah.
That they'll go there for like a month or two to like do shows and things like that. So it wouldn't surprise me if he spoke some Japanese.
So Vacation Friends, that's your first pick.
It's my first. It's one of my picks.
It's one of your picks.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
all right.
Controversial pick.
It sounds like
Controversial.
I'm gonna
like,
let the viewers vote on it.
Yeah.
We should.
They can
I
vote
wish we
on
could
the
have done.
best
We could have
films.
done a poll or something. I think we could have done that, but
It seems
too late now.
Like
What can you do?
have you ever seen Daddy's Home or Daddy's Home 2?
You got to move the
Yeah,
mic.
I
Hold
have
on.
seen both. I've seen the latter. I
Driving
saw
me
Daddy's
crazy.
Home 2 first, and then I went back and saw the first
So that's like an example of a film where at face value it doesn't look like it would be that great until
Nah,
you watch
but
it,
it's,
and
like,
it's
wholesome.
and it's
And-
very entertaining.
Yeah.
Would you say this kind of falls into a similar vein?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would.
I bet- is
I
it-
really wanted a comedy to be in my top tiers because comedies I feel like aren't. There was like the whole era of when comedies were coming out once a year and everyone loved them, but now they're not so much.
Just, few form. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean it's
they're-
hard to do a good
Marvel and everyone
comedy,
else kind of like soaks up everything, and
And-
know.
honestly, they haven't
yeah.
been funny either. So if you find a funny one, it's
What
Thor
makes
double
Ragnarok.
points.
That was it.
And comedies are kind of that mid-tier funding thing where now like they don't
Yeah.
want to make
the
a
return
mid-
on investment isn't as high as some of the other things they can go.
There was
Yeah.
a good comedy that came out. I think in 2019, 2020 was Palm Springs. I don't know if you saw that. Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg, yes.
Great
yeah,
comedy.
I
that
did
was
see
a
that.
fantastic.
That was a
film.
great comedy. You gotta move
J.K.
that mic,
Simmons.
though. You gotta fix that.
Why? I think I sound great.
Yeah, it's bugging the heck out of me. Here-
I'm the man of mystery.
all right,
Behind
well let's
I'm the
move
man
on to
behind the mic.
one of your picks, okay?
One of my picks?
Yeah,
Should it
Let's
be
talk
3,
about it.
2, or 1?
you pick.
Well,
I was thinking we'd do 3 and work our way up, but Evan,
pick anything you want.
he slashed that.
my number 3 was
everything else
Nightmare
in my
Alley by
life.
Guillermo del Toro, which we devoted a whole.
We already
whole
talked
episode.
about it. It's a good film. Watch it.
Yeah, I just love the
Next
the
film.
noir.
Tyler,
and,
did you see
how it's
Nightmare
wound
Alley?
up.
I have not. I've walked. So I work at the theater, so I've walked in
Right,
on
yeah.
scenes to do like theater checks and stuff,
Yeah.
and I've seen it in pieces, but I haven't ever sat down to watch it in whole. Just
That was the best part about working at the theaters. I would just do theater checks every now and
Yeah,
then.
you just- if
and
it's
sometimes I
slow-
would sit in there just for a second, and just be like, this
if
is
it's
funny.
slow and there's nothing going on outside, then
I can't remember which.
sure you-
I want to say it was like Avengers Endgame when that came out. I was working at the theater. And this was later on when it wasn't so busy all the time,
Yeah, when it
The
was
first couple
slammed.
weeks were just like
always,
insane.
Yeah.
So it must have been like the 4th week it was out or whatever. Then like if it was like the 3rd act or whatever, when the big fight, I would just sit in there for a
Go in there
second,
for
just,
the fight,
just
yeah.
watch a
Yeah.
couple minutes,
Yeah.
You got
Then-
a set
yeah.
break here or there. You know where to go.
Yeah.
When T'Challa comes through the
Right,
portal, you
right,
just-
yeah.
Like that, I can watch that like on my phone. The hair still stands up on my
Every
arm.
time.
Oh, I know,
Every time
I know.
watch that film,
Yeah.
it still
That's-
gives me
Talk about a
chills.
movie that makes you cry multiple times.
I don't cry.
I do,
All right.
and I'm not ashamed of it.
I've
But
never.
unlike Lucas,
I don't think I've ever cried at a movie. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
Ever?
I honest to God,
I don't think
I
you're
have.
watching them right. You haven't
Maybe.
watched the
Well,
right
maybe.
movie.
What's your major?
Cinema.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to make people feel anything in my movies.
all right.
Oh,
Another
yeah,
pick of yours.
The,
all right?
the second one, which I think
You got to
is-
fix your mic first.
I think I sound great.
It's all about the video for him. He's all a looks guy.
There you go. That looks better. And then you got to
Oh,
move,
okay,
move a little closer, would you?
To what? The
To me.
microphone?
No, to
oh,
me.
Center
to
of
Lucas.
There we go. All right.
that-
You got to
is that
play.
Lucas, you're
close
like
enough?
micromanaging like crazy.
I'm sorry. It just bugs the heck out of me.
Well,
All right.
I think I do have a pick you're going to like for my number 2 pick, which is Don't Look Up,
There we
the
go.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence.
Adam McKay directed it.
Adam McKay.
I think he wrote it too.
Let's see.
He did.
He did,
What's
yeah.
her name? She was also in Nightmare Alley. She was Hela in Thor Ragnarok.
Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett
Yep.
was also in that. Was
Meryl
Streep,
Yep.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Yep.
Who else?
Leo, I don't. Did you mention?
Yeah, I
him?
think I
Yeah,
mentioned
okay.
him.
You did.
And I'm sure. I mean, it's an ensemble cast, so I'm sure there's
Yeah.
people.
Oh, for sure.
I'm leaving out.
Yeah,
Alex would like me to put the microphone back in front of my face. I think it makes for a more enjoyable experience for the audience.
I disagree.
But
Don't Look Up was I think it was my number 2, yeah. But it's interesting because it's one of those films that I watch, I appreciate, I like.
not rewatching.
I'd
but-
never want to rewatch it again in
Yeah.
my life. Honest to God. Because it's so freaking depressing. Maybe in like 10
Yeah.
years, I can look back,
Yeah.
We'll all
times
be
are
dead in
too
10 years.
crazy. Huh?
It's
We'll all be
just-
dead in 10
I
years.
know.
Yeah.
I hope not.
There's too many parallels. and
There's
it's
too
just-
many
it feels too
parallels.
close to home, and then no one survives in the.
I was like, oh my God. Yeah, and
so
it came out on Christmas too. And it's like, that's not a good
Exactly.
Christmas movie.
Exactly.
I mean, you're gonna have to go on like Prozac or something after that. I mean, oh my God.
I do kind of appreciate, like, if you're gonna drop like a depression bomb on people, like, why not just do
Follow
it?
through.
Why not just
Yeah,
do it
I-
at Christmas? Just like, it's like if somebody's falling down, they just tear everything around them down to the ground too, all at the same time. Just so much nihilism in that movie.
I know. I love the characters are so good too,
They
especially
are. Leonardo DiCaprio's character is just so
I
good.
love Jonah Hill's
Jonah
character.
Hill is-
oh my
He's
God.
the best. I love Jonah Hill. He's I don't want to say an underrated actor because he gets a lot of work and does a lot of good stuff, but I think he's got an Oscar coming his way sooner or later.
He's had to prove himself a lot. I think.
yeah.
Haven't you? It looks like you wanted to.
He's also a hunk.
He is a hunk. I'll tell you what. Love that guy. All right. Anything else to say about Don't Look Up?
As somebody who hasn't seen it, which I know is a crime, I really should see this. What's
You don't watch any movies.
I know. What's the biggest takeaway? What's your favorite moment? What's the thing that really sells this as a great piece of cinema?
Well, do you want me to spoil
Meryl
it?
Streep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Meryl Streep improvising in the Oval Office, like all the calls she takes.
Oh my
there's
God.
like
Yes,
a 5-minute
yes.
montage of her like just taking
Yeah,
calls.
yeah.
and,
Just doing a bunch of different lines,
and
and
it's
it's so
hysterical.
funny.
and it's Meryl Streep. So like, how could you say no to that?
Ron
I-
Perlman in this movie is amazing.
He is in that movie. Yes.
He is amazing. He's probably my favorite character now that I think back on it.
What does he play?
Like a general, I think.
Yeah,
right?
like a general, like just somebody playing like the stereotypical like American hero, who just like kicks butt and doesn't take any names, but he's
He's like one of her advisors, right? Like one of the.
I think he is he's a high-ranking military official
Yeah.
who is one of the people who tries to is it a comet or an asteroid?
Asteroid.
Let's
An
go with
astro-
asteroid.
an
Oh
asteroid.
no, I think it is a comet actually. One of the
Let's
it's
go
a
with
flying
comet.
rock
It's
in
coming.
space.
It's coming to Earth and it's going to destroy
Who
Earth.
cares? You know, whatever.
And it's coming down and he's just out there. Does he have like an AK-47 or something? And he's just shooting up in the.
He's gonna get it. He'll
gonna
get
get
it
it.
though. He's got that right.
But
it's so
it's a very
it just
relevant.
reminds me of like how we deal with so many problems in this
I know.
world too. Just like here's something
it's-
that's not going to do anything, but it sure is going to make us feel good for a second.
And I'm not gonna fix it because it doesn't look good for me right now. I'll wait until it's
Right,
good for me.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just ruin this for Evan a little bit.
Yeah.
He's not
Where
gonna
there's
watch
that
it.
like family man who's like, we need the jobs that the comet can provide. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no.
It's a very relevant film and a scary look at today's society for sure.
And
It-
everything Adam McKay does is gold. And
Yeah.
At least since
Yeah,
Vice, Big Short. I don't know what one of the
I haven't
first
seen
ones to come
Vice.
out, but
I think it was Big Short that came out first.
you
You
haven't
know-
seen Vice?
I haven't. I heard it was good. I was working
Yeah,
at
it
a
is
theater when it came out. Actually,
This movie is important. Is an important commentary on society today in a lot of ways. Like, did you ever see Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal?
yeah, that's an amazing
That
film.
That
movie's
I
great too.
I think that movie is maybe one of the most important movies of the past 15 years because it just when you create like a capitalist system where it's just like a race to the bottom and you'll do anything to get ahead or get a little bit of something. That's where like this, it's a comment on capitalism, but also how like cutthroat and how hard it is to break in. Even like if you try to do something honestly, you're just never gonna get it.
Nah.
Like, which I don't really believe, but in a lot of things today, it kind of is like that. And I think this movie holds a mirror up to society in
Oh,
a
for
not so
sure.
flattering light. a lot.
sure.
Like I think you could do a depression double feature with Nightcrawler.
Yeah, which is why I picked Vacation Friends, a comedy, as mine.
I don't think Nightcrawler's as depressing to me as this film. I would rewatch Nightcrawler.
Oh, I would. Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
have.
would
This
rewatch
film,
Nightcrawler.
I don't want to rewatch. Okay, Evan. Yeah.
I see what you're
Can
saying.
you tell me who's in the chat?
Why?
Ooh, we got some
I-
Nightcrawler love in there.
I think that's my sister, and
Oh, is
I want to
it?
shout out my sister. It's actually her birthday today.
Oh my God!
God,
Happy
happy
birthday.
birthday.
If you're in the chat.
Should we sing Happy Birthday?
I
No,
think it might be copyrighted.
it is actually. Yeah.
It's not copyrighted.
The happy birthday song is copyrighted.
Martin and I have gone a real deep dive on this.
It is copyrighted.
It is not.
It is.
You're wrong, and that's okay.
No, you're wrong. I'm always right. Okay.
Lucas, tell us about one of your movies, one of your picks. Shout out to my sister, though.
Yes, shout out. I'll talk about Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Are we done with that now?
No, we're just getting started.
Spider-Man No Way Home, one of the biggest films of the last year, right? I mean,
Biggest
I wasn't
film
working.
of the year.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and
Biggest
I,
event of the year.
I'm trying to think. I think it's the third highest grossing film of all time now, or something.
Sure
It's
it
up
is.
there.
Wow, that's surprising.
All right, we got some happy birthdays in chat here. Is that your sister?
Weird Alpaca is my sister.
Oh, for real?
Yep.
Nice.
We've gone through this like a dozen times.
No, not on the podcast.
No, maybe not with you, but I've gone through this with Aaron.
Oh,
Although Aaron's memory's pretty good. Maybe we haven't.
I don't think we have. I
I
would
don't know
remember.
if Aaron's memory is pretty good.
No,
I
Aaron's
just see
memory's
the
very
Weird
good.
Al, and I just like I see Weird Al's face with a little mustache
I
and
don't know if
glasses.
your memory's too good. Anyway, yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home. We all saw it. We all loved it.
It was okay.
Shut up, dude.
You don't really feel like that, though, right?
No, I thought it was great.
Okay.
I thought it was great.
Okay.
Any excuse to give me more Doctor Strange. However, we
I
have
think
to do
any
it.
excuse to give me more Tobey Maguire.
I like
Andrew
Toby.
Garfield
Oh, he
was the knockout of the
yeah.
movie, though.
Oh, for
I
sure.
think,
Yeah.
I think we've all agreed on that.
100%.
Yeah,
And
because so much of it was so real. Like it's very meta.
Yeah,
Very meta.
it's very meta, and it also made sense in the story, like not only
right.
to us, which is always something I appreciate when it all ties in.
I
but-
think
Yes.
there was some of the most fun moments when the Spider-Men were talking.
Yeah.
And it really was
Yes.
like
and they're like reassuring themselves.
they're part of
about
this
it.
club that nobody gets, that like it's a unique space, but it's a weird space, and some people feel like they've been successful, and some people feel like they've failed. And really, they're just talking about
Both
their
as
lives.
their Spider-Man character
Yes.
and in real life,
Yes.
and
Mm-hmm.
it all just works. It's a weird.
I
mashup
think
of
I
the
mentioned it before. I would love to just see, like, not that it needs to be like Seinfeld, but I would just like to see these characters in a booth at a diner, just talking.
Do your do.
I don't know. I'm messing it up.
That might
But-
be interesting, but
Might? Are
I
you
don't-
kidding?
I don't know if it would be, honestly. I think once you got it, you'd be like, yeah, this was. a
I
bad
honestly,
idea.
of all of the Spider-Man, I would just want to eat like a burger and fries with Peter B. Parker from Spider-Verse.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, at the beginning?
Yeah.
That
Oh,
first
yeah.
one? Yeah. The Chris Pine.
No.
No,
You're
Jake
the-
Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The
that's,
main.
That's
the,
the
main,
one I'd want
yes.
to hang out with.
He's the coolest. I can't wait for that sequel. Now that-
I'd want to hang out with Nicolas Cage, Spider-Man Noir.
That's true.
That
did,
would be
did
cool.
you hear? Did you read the article? He in I think a South by Southwest article, he said that he wanted to play a villain in a Batman movie, and the villain he wanted to play was Eggman from the '66 show, I think.
I think Evan already. You have some big news, right? You've been cast.
I've
as
been cast as
Eggman,
Eggman.
right?
Which oddly enough, Lucas brought this up 20 minutes before you walked in the door and
Wild.
said I would play a good Eggman. So
I think you'd also play a good Grand Inquisitor.
Why not Mr. Freeze?
Well, that's what Martin went to. Is why not Mr. Freeze? Like,
that's who I want.
I'm an old
I
bald
would
guy.
also
Come
like
on.
a Mr. Freeze movie.
They got to do the
I
Nora.
want them to redo Poison Ivy and do it properly. She's my favorite.
She's a
villain
nice
here.
lady. I'll tell you.
Egghead.
what.
Thank you, Jonathan.
She's a hunk.
She is a hunk. All right.
I just love that the story that they told in that Batman animated series with Mr. Freeze. Like, I just don't know if anything else has like hit that hard from like any of those '90s cartoons.
It changed the whole character because that's the backstory now, and it came
Yeah.
from a cartoon, not a comic. Like that
Yeah.
whole like decade of animated series for DC
Right, yeah.
changed comics, or at least changed DC comics for.
It is
Oh,
weird.
yeah.
Weird how influential that
throughout.
was. That like
Yeah,
it,
we have Harley Quinn series.
Yeah, Harley
now
Quinn, right,
that
right.
we would never have if it wasn't created in that show.
it is the best version
Oh,
of Batman.
Oh gosh, what's his
I
name?
agree.
I'm trying to-
I just love that like he's motivated by helping his wife,
It's-
and then as soon as that shifts and like something else like he can help her or something, or like he can like there's another path. He's like, then the villainy kind of goes away because he's so single minded on just helping her. I love
He's a great Spider-Man.
a sympathetic villain. I think that's
Yeah.
what I like.
Great Spider-Man villain, yeah. But
Who?
nothing, because we were talking about
Hydro Man?
Spider-Man, and
Hydro
then,
Man?
and then we started talking about Batman.
A good Spider-Man villain. Speaking of good Spider-Man villains, there's quite a few of them in there. They got the big ones. They got Willem Dafoe back. They got
I love
Adam
Willem
Doc
Alfred
Dafoe.
Molina
Ock's
back.
my personal favorite.
Doc Ock,
A sympathetic villain.
Yeah.
Alfred Molina.
Mm-hmm.
And Alfred from The Batman. Andy Serkis.
Sure, yeah. Who else we got in that film? The Electro guy.
Oh, Jamie Foxx.
Jamie
Yeah.
Foxx. We got Jamie Foxx. Yeah.
Jamie Foxx wasn't that bad either. I kind of wasn't expecting much out of that character, and it was fun enough. It was
I'd
fun.
really like to see more out of the Lizard and
Yeah.
Sandman, and I really would have liked to seen confrontation between Tobey's Spider-Man and Green Goblin, because I don't think they ever
Oh yeah,
meet
I
in
saw
the
that.
film.
I saw that like the other day that they never interacted, which is
Except in like the last scene where he like stabs.
Right.
But like,
That's insane to me.
yeah,
I
feel
did.
Like
I
that
like the
would have been
scene
on the
where.
list.
Right. I know. I'm like, why would you
Why
not
would you
do
not?
that?
Well, maybe that's the more symbolic. Maybe he was hanging back because he was responsible for him dying in his world.
Was he responsible though? Because
Well,
No, he wasn't.
I mean,
no, he wasn't. It was him.
he
He
prob-
wasn't.
that the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man would feel responsible for it though.
I guess. Sure.
I suppose.
We got the
In a
nice.
court of law, you're not getting out with that argument.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he wouldn't be charged with it or anything, but like, because he cared about him too, you know. And Tobey Maguire is like definitely the best guy.
He's the nicest guy.
He's the nicest out of the three of them.
I hope we see him. It's rumored that he's going to be back in Doctor
I hope
Strange.
so. I hope we get Jazz Parker.
Who's that?
Oh, you know what I'm talking
Oh
about.
yeah, I know. What you're talking about. I don't think
That was one of so I was a VFX student and I had to do a walk cycle in our animation courses, and that was the walk cycle I chose, was his through the streets.
I really don't think that, like, people say that that's terrible, but I really enjoyed the campiness of that.
I was a kid when Spider-Man 3 came out,
Me
or
too, yeah.
like younger than I am now, and I enjoyed it.
I like the jazziness of it.
I feel like there's a story actually with Arlene and Larry, who were in New York City
They
as
saw
they
the
were
film.
they were filming that scene.
Oh, really?
I know they went down to New
Wild.
York City to see the film.
Oh my God, I want Larry and Arlene in the
told me.
background of that shot.
I'd have to ask Martin for certain, but I believe that was the part of the story, is that they were in New York City and they were watching that scene being filmed.
That's
Could-
too funny.
Could you imagine going to see a Spider-Man? They're filming Spider-Man downtown, guys, and you go there and
He's
it's just him in
dancing
a black suit,
yeah.
acting all goth. Like, oh,
It's not even goth though. It's just like hip cat goth or whatever.
it's wild.
Just
Is
like-
what it is.
Moody
That is
moody
wild.
jazz man.
It's something, all right. Maybe we'll get it in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness there. I know we're getting Professor Xavier. When's that coming out?
Is wild
I
to
know,
me that
I
they just
know.
put that in,
In
a
a trailer.
I know. Why would they do that?
Well, maybe
It's
to,
just like what else are they hiding? That's the
Yeah,
thing,
that
because they
could
gave
be,
us
yeah,
like
yeah.
the Sinister Six villains in the Spider-Man trailers, and that movie still worked 100%, like
Yeah.
regardless of
Right,
what I
right.
knew.
What wasn't the Sinister Six? There's only 5.
Yeah.
Hey, can we talk about another Marvel movie?
Sure.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Shang-Chi?
Yeah, I'd love to, because that was on. That's one of the floaters I have on my list, because I enjoyed that movie the most
I
this
don't know
year.
why.
I think, only because Spider-Man is cheating. I have Spider-Man tattoos on my body. I'm gonna like those movies more than other movies. It's just, it's
Sure,
a
sure.
very strong bias. But of all of the newer like Phase 4 stuff, especially their movies, Shang-Chi was the only one I can like consistently rewatch and have a good time. And
it's very fun.
And again, it has that family connection. It's all about a brother and sister and brother and father kind of dynamic.
What have you gone through, man?
I don't know.
We
I
gotta
just
dive
like
into
it
this
in my
more.
movies. It's got a great cast.
Does.
Like it's
Cast is
Aquafina tears that movie up.
unbelievable cast.
The cast is good.
Tony Leung, Michelle Yeoh, the woman who plays her sister, Menger Zhang, I'm gonna say, and maybe
Sounds right.
butchering. She's fantastic. Can't wait to see more of her. It's just really great, and all of the like third act flack it's kind of gotten online, I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought I wanted to see a dragon. I love dragons, and you don't ever see the Chinese dragons in like
Cinema, right?
cinema. Really, you always
you
see
really
like
don't.
the Western dragons with like
Right.
4 legs and the big things, or like the wyverns. But it was just really cool to see that and like how all that magic unfolded, and all the action was fantastic in it. All the lights, the music, the score, it was all great. So,
Yeah, the music in that was great, especially the music on the bus.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, that the
Great
bus scene was
production
pretty
on
cool.
that.
The bus scene was pretty cool with that guy with the whatever it was.
Blade
Razor
arm,
fist.
Razor fist.
What is it? Razor fist.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
In the comics, he has no hand, just both fists. Maybe they're saving something for the sequel.
They could be, isn't it? He joined the sisters group, right? At the end there.
The 10 rings now.
Oh, I wonder if
Wherever
they're
they
going to
may
pop up
be.
in Madripoor. Oh, man.
I would love them to.
What is
I would
it?
love to see more of them.
That could be something.
Well, I mean, see, the original, like, the ongoing series, the Wolverine series from 1988, like, the whole beginning part of that is set in Madripoor where he's, like, undercover as Patch. Oh, my God. If they did that in the movies, I would love that. I'd be the only one. I'd be like, yeah, we got Patch, everybody. And it would just be crickets in there and nobody would buy any tickets. But I would enjoy it.
I think the thing that Spider-Man did most for me, though, was, like, concrete my total faith in John Watts to do Fantastic Four. Because
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
one property I would love to be done right. And I'm sure it will be done proper in a way
think it will
under
be, but-
Kevin, but
I think John Watts is a, I think he's an okay director. He doesn't really have a good, he doesn't have a good directing voice. It doesn't stand out. It's not like James Gunn or Taika Waititi. He's
yeah.
more just like Kevin Feige would be like, yeah, do that. John Watts does it good, and that's that. So I think the Fantastic Four movie would be good, but I wish there was someone like Taika Waititi behind it who, has more of a, a vision and voice.
The good
behind
news is the
camera.
bar is so low for the Fantastic Four
That
is true.
that if
That's
you
the
just do
best thing.
anything, if you do anything,
Anything better than what we've seen.
That's true.
because what we've seen has been.
I'm not
trash.
gonna lie. I went back and watched those last 2 movies that came out on Disney Plus when they came out on that.
Wait,
Or do you mean
Thoroughly
the...
enjoyed it.
the
The,
early 2000s ones?
Yeah, the
okay.
ones with I can't remember any of
Chris
the actors'
Evans,
names.
Yoan Grufford,
Yeah.
Jessica Alba, Michael Chiklis. Why do I know this? I just do. I don't want to know this, but I do.
Well, you do.
Aaron's gift and Aaron's curse.
You have a good memory, I guess, right?
Yeah, the first one I think was better than the second one.
Oh, for sure. That's why there wasn't a third one.
Yeah.
The second one, like the power swapping, was just so
There's
weird.
There's just a lot of weird things. I don't know. I just really want to see a Doctor Doom. Like
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
Doctor Doom could be a Titan or a Thanos level villain for them
Yes.
if done properly. Like
Oh, for sure.
I mean, he's Marvel's
What about
flagship villain.
Who is it, Mole Man?
I'm ready for him. I'm ready for the Superior Iron Man arc where
Okay.
Doc Strange takes over Tony's armor or whatever it is.
Which is obviously hinted at.
Yeah, that's what I thought was happening in the Doctor Strange trailer when they were walking up, and then I read somebody's comment. It was like they look like Ultron bots to me. So now I'm
Yeah,
thinking
they
maybe
do.
there's Ultron,
Well,
because I would love them to bring back Ultron too, because they love like rehabilitating things that they had done not
Right.
so great in the
I
past.
like that they do that. I think that's a cool part of what they're uniquely positioned to do.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, you didn't like Thor: Dark World so much?
I'm
Well,
gonna
let's
make you like it.
yeah.
I'll
that
make you
movie still
rewatch that
sucks. I
movie.
don't like that movie.
Yeah. Oh, I just love the confidence. It's like,
Movie
oh, you
sucks.
thought this one was the worst? Well, guess what? You're gonna like it now.
I'll make you rewatch it because
Yeah.
I rewatched that after Endgame came out just to like see what the connections were or what I missed. But
Movie was
they
bad.
got me.
Movie was bad.
I'm not saying it wasn't good.
I enjoyed Thor: Dark World. It was good.
I enjoyed
I
it
think-
at the time.
I think you enjoy a lot
Now
of
it's
things.
bad. Hey,
Yeah,
I
you're
hated
just an
Thor
enjoyer of
Ragnarok at
things.
first, and now
You
I'm-
hated Thor Ragnarok?
at first, and now I'm a big fan of it.
How could did you
How
see
could you hate it?
Did you see the trailer before you went to see it?
Yeah,
And you still were like,
I hated it. I was
What?
I was vehemently against it. They just like all the wishy-washy away of all the lore and like, oh, it's just under the ceilings. They didn't really explain anything to me. It just was just not what I was looking for.
Taika
need-
Waititi is like one of my favorite directors and writers.
He is one of my favorites now
I
too.
love
I'm
him.
just saying at the time that I
At the
first
time.
saw it,
Okay, all right.
That's-
As long as
that's
you-
the-
I walked out of Aquaman though. That's
Really?
the only
Aquaman's
film I've ever
garbage.
walked out of. There is a like 5-minute sequence in that movie where he goes from
It's not class.
we
You don't have to
can't
raise
get
your
over
hand.
the fence because it's impenetrable. That's why no one can ever swim over to the next scene. They are swimming over the fence. And I
Tyler,
walked out
I've
of
never seen a reaction from those two before.
About-
Thor Ragnarok. Like literally, their jaws both hit the table.
Yeah.
The best trailer that's ever been assembled, I think, for a movie, Thor Ragnarok, because they give you Thor versus Hulk, and then they drop Jeff Goldblum right after it.
Oh,
that. Fair, but the newest Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer has the Duel of the Fates in it.
Oh, yeah,
so
that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah,
That I'm excited.
I'm not as big of a Star Wars guy.
I am a
but
little
I like
worried-
Ewan McGregor though.
I'm a little worried that after Boba Fett, I freaking hated that show. Boba Fett.
I didn't
Really?
I didn't like it.
It sucked.
I liked the 2 episodes.
There was like there
And
was
I
2
really,
good episodes,
I
and it wasn't.
really wanted to like Sophie Thatcher too. She did a great job in Yellow Jackets. She
remind
played
me.
the one of the robotic arms. She
Oh,
had
really?
like
Okay.
black hair. She stabbed Chrysanthemum when he
Is she the
came up
one?
to him.
Is she one of the ones on the bikes?
She's one
Yes.
of the ones on the bike.
The mods.
I really
when I
wanted
saw
to
that,
like her,
when I
but
saw that chase scene there with the bikes, I'm like, what is this? What is this? What are we doing?
Wait for what?
Boba
when?
Fett. It's awful. There's like
I
2
don't-
good episodes, and Boba Fett's not even in them.
I liked all of them.
And I don't.
All of it.
After
but I'm
that,
not a big Star Wars guy, so maybe that's the difference.
I think they ruined Boba Fett. I really do. His character sucks. He's supposed to be like this cool badass, and he's not anymore.
I just still don't know why he wants to be the daimyo. They never really fully explained to
It's
me
so
why
stupid.
what his motivations were.
I thought they were setting it up like with him, like with the Sand People, like setting up that he realizes the strength of having a tribe, so he's trying to make his own tribe.
Okay, yeah, I get that. I get that correlation, but I feel like it was poorly laid out. I feel like the Tuscan people should have come back in some way, shape, or form if that was it. Because there's even a few lines in there where they're like, "Oh, they killed Tuscans." I don't believe that. Like they do like 2 or 3 of those in there, and it's anyway. This is
Maybe
about
they're
such a
movies,
bad-
maybe they're
guys.
saving
Such a
it for
bad
part 2. Yeah, because I'd love. There's a couple TV shows I'd love to talk about, but nobody's probably. Does anybody watch Raised by Wolves?
I have not, but I
Here it's gone.
also have a bunch of TV shows.
Can we
I
talk about? I know
that
you
show?
know this show.
Can't talk
Barry.
with anybody about this.
Let's
Which
talk
one?
about Barry for a
Comes back
second.
in April.
I've seen
Cannot
I've seen a
wait.
couple episodes.
So-
I'm gonna rewatch it. I remember I watched the first season in one night. I was
Been
like,
like
this
3
is.
years.
It has been. It's like
Atlanta
why?
comes back this week too. Speaking of
I've
a
never.
show
I've
that's
seen a
been away for
couple
3 years.
episodes. But Bill Hader is one of my favorite
I love Bill Hader.
actors. I hope he gets cast.
He
in,
was
like-
totally wasted in
Marvel.
It Part 2.
I thought he did great, dude.
I thought he did a really good job. I
Well,
loved
with
it,
the
too.
script, I guess.
I'll have to rewatch it. I can't really.
I
remember.
liked it.
He did as best as he could with the script, I think. But
I thought he was the standout, and the guy who played who's the nerdy guy in the first one had the broken arm there.
I don't recall.
He's the one that got stabbed in the cheek, and it. You know what I'm talking
I got
about.
nothing.
You don't remember that scene?
I guess not.
Aaron,
I
let's
guess
talk
he
about
doesn't have a good memory.
let's talk about Dune.
Ooh, yeah. Let's talk about some
also would
Dune.
have been on my list. I just knew you were going to talk about it. So
Yeah, yeah. Directed by Denis Villeneuve. Also directed Blade Runner 2049. Also another awesome movie.
another awesome movie that I did not like upon first watching it.
I don't know if anyone really likes Blade Runner the first time.
Oh, I did. But the thing about Blade Runner is it's a world that it's not. I mean, there's a linear story, but it's more a world that you inhabit and experience than like this person does this and then they do this and then they do this and then they do this.
Yeah. I liked the world of it more than I liked the story I watched.
Yes,
I think.
yes. I think everybody
And
would
I
agree
think
with
I've
that.
done that in both Blade Runner movies.
Yes.
Yeah,
Although
yeah.
I did like Ryan Gosling's what he was doing better
Yeah.
than Harrison Ford
I love Ryan Gosling. He's great.
in the first one. Like I just think of like the atmosphere of those things. Like when he's running with the trench coat through like the foggy Vegas.
That's one
It's-
of those movies I like applaud for their VFX. Like there's a
Yeah.
whole character in
Yeah.
that movie who is not real, and like you
Anna-
can barely
Anna-
kind of tell.
What's her name?
The Anna
It's
de
a-
Armas.
Yeah,
The Joy.
she's a nice lady. All right, Dune.
But Dune, yeah,
Yes.
same director taking on a high concept, like almost an unfilmable thing. Like Denis Villeneuve is like, yeah, like people say like this movie is unfilmable. This thing is unadaptable. Like why would you even step in the arena? And he's like, I think I'm gonna do that.
I think I bought the book right before it was supposed to be released like a year before it actually
Yeah.
was, and then waited a year to read the book so I could read it right before the movie. And it's like shot. There's
Yeah.
a lot of really good, like, right off the page corollaries that he does. And
Yeah.
that whole scene, the music's great.
Oh,
The
yeah.
visual
Music's good.
effects are great. The whole scene where they're dropping bombs on whatever the main city is,
Right.
and they drop through
Right.
there's one shot where they just drop through the shields on top of one of their tank things, and it vibrates through it and then explodes. Blew me away. It was like in Last Jedi when they fly through that bigger ship and it's just silence, and everyone's just like,
Right.
that was one of those moments for me.
Because they take the concept from the book and then like think it through, and how like maybe not purely science, but like what's an kind of like an enhanced reality version of science that can do that stuff, like the slow knife fights
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like you have a shield for projectiles, and how all that stuff works. Oscar Isaac did an awesome job
I love it.
as
So
Jared
excited
Leto.
for
Wait,
Moon Knight.
not Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
He played Jared Leto. He played the Batman. He played the Suicide Squad Joker in this movie. Duke Leto.
not even in
Duke
the
Leto.
movie.
Yeah, sorry. Just too many things going on in my brain.
Jared Leto
Everyone in the
sucks.
film acted
Yeah.
fantastic.
Timothy Chalamet killed it.
Great.
Like,
I can't wait to see more of Zendaya. I tell you what.
yeah.
She's a nice lady too.
Josh
Very nice.
Brolin as Guernsey. Not Guernsey. Guernsey Halleck, right? Or Gurney Halleck.
Yeah.
Something.
Yes.
It's
The only
something.
thing, the only critique that I've seen anybody make is could have seen him sing more songs, but does that go counter to his kind of like tough guy persona? Yeah, it's kind of a tough thing to include. Jason Momoa, man,
Perfect.
Duncan Idaho got a
Perfect.
huge redemption from the David Lynch movie, where he's kind of like, yeah, I'm Duncan Idaho, and I'm gone.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Like, oh, what a like if you're Jason Momoa and you're in a movie, what a way to show up and like just like make people remember you. It was really good. Evan, have you seen Dune? Did you watch Dune?
Oh, it was great.
Okay.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Didn't we talk about it on the podcast?
Yeah, we did talk about it on
I
the
watched.
podcast.
No,
You
I
didn't
watched.
see it?
No, I watched the.
The David Lynch one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why would you watch that one? when we're
Well,
talking about
I
the
think
movie?
I think there's a lot to like about the David Lynch one. It's another one of those things where like if you think too much about what's actually happening, you might run into some problems. But if you just enjoy the spectacle and the
You
visual,
just
and
gotta appreciate it for what it is.
yes. And one, I mean, I'll bring this up again. I talked about this on the Dune thing too, but the sense of scale that the special effects provide, like all throughout, like whenever there's like a VFX thing, there's always a human thing
Yeah.
right near it to give you that context. Like when they're hanging out the back of the
That
thing with
that
the
one shot when they are like leaving the land transporter to like land on Arrakis, where
Yeah.
the ships you can barely see, they're like 4 pixels wide and coming from this massive ship, just it blew me away. I was like, holy crap, this is not Star Wars.
yeah. Yeah, I love the design of the ships, the design of the clothing.
The Thornicopters were fantastic
yeah.
Yeah.
designed. I loved the dragonfly design of it, and all of the blade movements were perfect. It really felt genuine. It felt organic to a point.
Yeah, and Timothy Chalamet using the voice and stuff, which you're not. I'm forgetting the name of the Sisterhood.
Benny Gesserit.
Yeah, the Benny Gesserit, like him using the Benny Gesserit skills when like typically that's not supposed to happen. And
Oh, it's absolutely not supposed to happen.
yeah, and just like all the stuff that goes on with that, it didn't feel weird. Where the David Lynch one, I think he was definitely trying to make it odd and strange.
Well, that's
but
David Lynch.
Yeah.
That's his whole thing.
Yeah, that's his brand. But it just like, even for an unnatural thing, it was just executed in such a good way. Like Rebecca Ferguson and Timothy Chalamet did
Perfect.
such a great job
Good job.
in those scenes. And it made me realize how close at least the first part of the David Lynch Dune was more or less on target. I think when we get
I
more
think they
onto
just-
Arrakis, it gets weirder.
So the only real complaint I have with Dune is that it's one part of the
Right.
story, and that you have to, and it wasn't like 100% sure if we were gonna get a second one. Like, come on, just make a second one. You gotta finish.
I feel like people who like good sci-fi, that kind of stuff is always happening. Where it's like, here's this thing that is amazing. You get part one. Okay, nobody showed up. It's
and
done.
Like, you just gotta make sure you can, because like it's everyone's the same. It's still Denis Villeneuve. They have the book to go for what she's like pulling straight out of. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fantastic, and you'll get all of these intricate things that the book kind of like time jumps through. But yeah, I think once part 2 of Dune comes out, it could be one of my favorite like movie franchises, if you would consider 2 movies a franchise.
We're going to switch gears real quick and cover, I think, our last movie, which is Lucas Licorice Pizza.
Yeah, you saw too.
I
right?
didn't see it. Is
I thought
it,
you
is
said
it
you did.
available for anywhere? I wanted to see it. I just
might
didn't
be in
see
trouble here. We might just be you. We might just have to go on a big
Just
tangent.
maybe- All right, well, it's a Paul Thomas Anderson film, right?
What else has he done?
It's on my list to watch.
You got to watch it. It's on Prime and YouTube now. Where's the list here? I want to name some of the actors because they were great, especially the young, the female. Who was it? The acting was great. The writing was
Alana
great.
Haim
Yes.
with
Well,
Is
that's the
Cooper
character's
Hoffman.
name.
Oh,
Alana Kane.
no, I don't think it.
Oh, you know what? I think actually they just took her name. It was just it's Alana whoever.
Gary Valentine.
Yeah, it's got Sean Penn, and
Cooper
Bradley Cooper
Cooper
in it, too.
Hoffman, who was Seymour Hoffman's kid. The writing's great. The
George
directing's great.
DiCaprio. Is that
He's in it for he's.
Yeah,
Leonardo DiCaprio's dad? George DiCaprio.
Is it really? I don't know. He's in it for
Yeah, he's
one
in-
Is that a
scene.
thing?
Yeah, he's
Also
in
a
it.
huge comics fan, George DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Wow.
What books does he do?
Well, he doesn't. He collects them. He's also like friends with like huge collectors of odd comic things.
But anyway, yeah, it takes place in the 70s. It's about this kid named Gary. He's a 15-year-old and this relationship with a 25-year-old woman. It's a little.
Is she a very nice lady?
Yeah, she's all right. She's a nice lady. It is a little weird because I know when the movie came out, there was a whole thing about the age difference, but they never really get intimate in the movie, so it's not like a romantic relationship. You know, the young 15-year-old kid wants it to be, and the woman's like, this is weird, but she still hangs out with him. It's a good film, and
It's
he's
like our relationship with you, Lucas.
I want to say that.
I don't even know what's. I don't know what's happening. with this.
No, because it does get romantic.
But it's got Bradley Cooper in it too, also in Nightmare Alley.
Yeah, good observation. And it kind of, if any, thumbs up for you. If you've seen Rushmore, it kind of reminds me of the main character in that film. who's-
A very precocious young man.
Yeah, he's just kind of very confident. He he knows what he wants and he gets what he wants, I guess. But
Is it this person who's the main
No,
protagonist?
it's-
It's this
it's
one.
that guy.
Okay, because this one's
Cool.
also in a show called Righteous Gemstones.
yeah, it's a good show.
What actor? Righteous,
Skylar
Righteous Gemstones is
Gisondo,
great.
who also filmed some films here, right, in Central New York, in Syracuse, at
Yeah,
American High.
American High, yeah.
Crazy.
But yeah, he's kind of this entrepreneur type guy, and yeah, it's just about the friendship between this what's her name, Alana and Gary. It's super good, and it's Paul Thomas Anderson, so you can't really go wrong with him and his writing. So check it out if you haven't. It's like $5, $6 or something on. I think it's on YouTube and Prime.
Yeah, it's on Prime.
The soundtrack's really good. Like I said, the acting. Alana, what's her last name?
Haim.
Haim. I mean, she's amazing in this film, and I think it's her first film actually, and she's like a standout. She's really good. Cooper Hoffman, he's good as well. He's got the genes for acting, so definitely check it out. That's all. That's my review of
Oh, it's a record store.
What?
Licorice Pizza.
Yeah, it doesn't really have to do with that though.
Because apparently, a Licorice Pizza is like a pseudonym for a record because records are shaped like pizzas and look
Oh
like
yeah, I
licorice.
guess that's a good point. Actually,
I just thought it sounded like a '70s porno.
Oh,
kinda yeah.
Aaron, as two guys who collect vinyl, I've never heard that term before.
mm-mm.
And I've been buying vinyl since
That's
I've
like
been
the
buying
50s.
comics.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Google, baby.
wow, okay. Well, my mind's blown.
Okay.
All right.
That's it. That's my review. Go watch it. It's seriously a solid film. I know it's up for a few Academy Awards.
Another two quick films to go
yeah.
watch. Last Night in Soho by
Oh, I
Edgar
wanna watch
Wright
it
is
so bad.
spectacularly done. And then Mitchell's vs. the Machines is also
I do want to watch that.
a
yeah.
wonderful film produced by the same people who did Spider-Verse.
Yep. And Lego movie.
Again,
Yep.
a family movie. It's just a great time.
I do want to watch that. There's what's his name?
There's a scene that someone played for me where they play a synthesizer for the aliens. I think I need to watch that full movie just
That movie's great.
just to honor that one sequence there, because it's kind of like Encounter of the Third Kind.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Third Kind, where they just played like the few notes, but it's just like So it's like, let's take it to the next level. Let's get like Herbie Hancock up there.
Movie's wild. It goes from like a small family, and then they have to escape from the robots, and then they catch some friendly robots while they're there, and then they have
it's got
to
robots.
save the world.
I know
All
a
while
little
fixing
thing
their
about
family
robots, yeah.
dynamic.
All right. I think that's a wrap.
You guys got anything else? Any other
Yeah,
movies?
Tyler,
Last
any
minute
closing
movies you want to
movies?
plug?
Any closing arguments?
Last movies I want to plug. I've watched a lot of series. I think this
Best
year.
series in the past
I'm-
year.
Best series? Oh,
Raised by Wolves and Righteous Gemstones.
Best series in the past year.
Sopranos.
Best.
Righteous Gemstones, Yellow Jackets, Severance is really good and on right now. Ted Lasso, I really enjoy.
Oh my God, Ted
My wife
Lasso.
loved Yellow Jackets. I caught pieces of it here and there, and it looked really good.
Yellow
but
Jackets made me rewatch Lost, and that's a
Yeah?
long and arduous commitment.
Brian K. Vaughan, writer of Saga, I think he wrote a lot of the episodes for Lost, actually.
That's crazy.
He wrote a couple seasons, or not whole seasons, but he was on for a few
He was
seasons.
a
It's
part
like,
of the writing staff, yeah.
yes,
Great
And
writer.
here
And I
was
don't think
thinking
he had
it
any
was Damon
previous
Lindelof.
television. I don't think he had any previous television writing. I think he was writing Why the Last Man.
Yes.
And a movie studio just telling this weird cinematic story in comics. I think that they just brought him in and was like, yeah, you're going to sit in the writer's room now. Like, we want to see what you can do with a TV show.
Cool.
Pretty sure.
a lot of people.
again, we don't-
transferred
I mean,
over
Damon
like that.
Lindelof is a comics guy, and he was the showrunner, so
He did a
could've
great
brought
job
yeah.
on the Watchmen HBO show.
instant classic. I rewatch that every year now.
What is it?
Yeah, the
Watchmen?
Watchmen on
Oh, I love that.
on
yeah.
HBO.
That didn't come out in the last year, though.
No, but now we're just kind of just.
That's a great show, though.
I
That's
think
that's
they're
a like a great.
I love that it took that show to educate like America about something that actually happened
Yeah,
in America.
100%.
I know, right?
had
Yeah,
no
yeah.
Because I
idea.
didn't know about like the bombing of Black Wall Street.
Yeah, Evan wouldn't know anything about this because he's never read The Watchmen or seen this show. Probably.
You own
true.
a comic shop.
I know. I don't know.
It's one of life's great mysteries.
It's insane.
Oh, man.
That show's fantastic, though. That won a bunch of Emmys. I'm pretty sure.
Did it? It deserved to.
Loki was good for me. I love Loki.
I liked Loki.
That
Did
was
that
my
come out last year?
I was more
This
of a
past year?
WandaVision person.
I
Somebody said WandaVision up there. I can't read the
John
chat
did.
today.
I liked
John did.
WandaVision. I thought Falcon and the Winter Soldier was pretty great.
Garbage.
They were pretty.
Hot
they were pretty
garbage, that
gutsy with
show.
some of the things they did with the
No.
Shield and the characters around
that
the
show
Shield.
was garbage, dude.
It
Well,
wasn't
we've disagreed on this before.
Yeah, we have. We've had some discussions about it. I did not like it at all.
The music in Loki was incredible. I'll just listen to that sometimes.
I mean, episode 6, the penultimate episode where they have alligator Loki and
Yes, yes, yes,
everyone,
yes.
like all the variants. That's easily my favorite.
The finale of WandaVision was also excellent. Like the what is it? The ship fallacy. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
like-
Theseus' ship.
Yeah, when Vision goes against Vision and they just like go into like
Instead
a logic
of-
battle.
yeah.
Oh,
I like that a lot too, instead of just a classic beat 'em up.
and that's
thing.
totally what they would do.
Yeah,
Like I just love when like smart characters do smart things and it pays off in a cool way.
and there's so much grief in it, and it's portrayed so kind of beautifully. And I'm very excited to see what she does in Multiverse
Yeah.
of Madness.
We need West Coast Avengers and we need
Young
the
Young
Vision without
Avengers.
pigment to come back.
I heard she's getting her own movie now, Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, rightly
the
so.
rumors.
Come on, bring it on.
It's the rumors.
Maybe we'll get some more Stephen Strange in there around the edges.
Loki was great, though. That was my favorite out of the three. I liked Hawkeye more than I thought I was gonna.
Oh, yeah.
Hawkeye was probably Hawkeye might be slightly above WandaVision.
Is it bad that I
Really?
totally forgot about it?
I did also.
I'm excited for
forget
Moon
about it,
Knight.
but it's just a great watch.
I like when they just
enjoyable.
when Marvel does like different things. Like WandaVision,
Yes.
that's a great example. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, not a great example. It's not.
You know, I'm not married. I'm not married to that show, but it feels like you're just like beating up on it because I like it.
No, I really don't like it. I genuinely don't.
Right?
Like it.
Yeah, I got that sense.
I hate it. I'll be honest.
You made that very clear.
The villain was stupid. Loki, great show though, because it was different, you know. And I never really cared for Loki. You know, everyone was like, "Oh, he's the best
I
villain in
agree.
the MCU."
I also did not care.
I'm like,
for
who
Loki.
cares? This show, I'm like, "Oh, Loki's pretty cool."
I already care more about Sylvie than Loki, though.
Oh, she's a nice lady.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to wrap this up with acceptance speeches. So, Tyler, you have just won the award for Best Visual Effects in a Movie. You are now going to give your acceptance speech to the crowd at hand.
Oh lordy! I would like to thank everyone I've ever come in contact with because you got me here. So I think that wraps that up.
All right, that's a wrap.
Aaron,
Thanks so much.
you've just won the award for Best Storyboarding instead of even a thing.
Yeah,
Best
100%.
storyboarding. Why not Best Director?
You've won an award for Best Director. I'd like to hear
Thank
your
you, Evan.
acceptance speech.
Best art deck.
Well, I got to thank my fam, You know, the Lee ladies.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier without Falcon and the other guy wouldn't be here either. I got to thank Lucy and above all else my sweet little Cavalier King Charles pup, Tootsie.
All right, that's
Thanks,
a
buddy.
wrap. Take us home.
Lucas, you're not going to give your acceptance speech?
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Take us home.
They're really going home this time?
I don't know what's going on.
Take us home.
Okay. You've been listening to
There you
Isugo
go.
Comic Shop
Took you a
does
sec.
a podcast with me, Papa Lee.
I'm Lucas.
A very angry Lucas Brewer tonight.
I'm not angry. I just don't want
He's
to
a
do that.
fiery Lucas
I just don't
Brewer.
wanna-
He is.
Yeah,
Lucas
that's
was
true.
fired up tonight. I am Evan Coy, and we're here with our very special guest.
Thank you, Tyler, for joining us.
Thank you
Rigby.
guys so much.
You'll have to
for
come
having
back
me.
soon.
I'd love
It's
to.
a
Hopefully, he didn't
pleasure.
scare you away here.
Absolutely.
probably
Well, he's
did.
asking you to take him home because he doesn't have a house of his own.
Oh,
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, we got to cut it right there. 'cause
I'm going to
it's
my
not gonna get better.
car. All right. Thanks,
Have a good night,
guys.
everybody.